This one may prove to be the shortest of them all. Let's see. One of Nick Bostrom's assumptions in support of the simulation hypothesis seems a little off to me. Well, actually, it turns out no. Anyway, I believe he states that given the rate of improvement in simulation realism, in fact, the rate is pretty much irrelevant as long as it's remotely positive, we'll eventually create indistinguishable universes from our own. My problem arises at this point. I think that by the time we are able to create universes this complex, we will have a better sense of moral responsibility, and so won't create simulations with evils without an upside. Seeing as I can only speak with absolute authority of my own subjective experience, the way I feel at the moment is my proof. An intelligent, responsible creature wouldn't make a simulation capable of feeling this way. Similarly, although I can't speak from a subjective perspective, and nice rhyme, and so one could say that these are potentially non-conscious simulations, and me or you, I guess, is the only real conscious being. I think, therefore I am. Not I think, therefore not I think you think, therefore you are. Anyway, children living in absolute poverty with crippling diseases is further evidence. Anyone who doesn't enjoy their existence should be less convinced that their existence is a simulation. Obviously, if you're nearly always satisfied with your existence, you have far more reason to believe that it is. One potential counter-argument to this is my postulation that it may be possible to run simulations at a speed faster than that of the base universe, and thus if the base universe could be cloned almost identically, or even just a local part of it, scientific discoveries could be made at a much faster rate, and then the knowledge gained used in the base universe. I don't really like the connotations of the word base. This would explain why suffering is still present because This would explain why suffering is still present because it would need to be as close to reality as possible. I guess the rebuttal would fall under the loss. I think this was Nick Bostrom's second reason why it could be false. So he did actually cover it anyway. So he didn't miss it out. I guess the rebuttal would fall under the loss in interest creating ancestor simulations category. And now we're back full circle again. It all comes down to your childhood, I'm afraid. If you weren't an avid reader as a child and didn't show an interest in learning, you're fucked. Elon Musk was programming and selling those programs by the age of 12. Well, when I say fucked, I mean if you want to be anything that you should want to be. So if you want to be Elon Musk or Nikola Tesla or anyone profound, you pretty much had to start in your childhood, I reckon. Okay, Elon Musk was programming and selling those programs by the age of 12. I never used to take toys apart to find how they worked, and to that piece complaining. I think I didn't finish that thought anyway. But all the people who end up being really good, having the required level of interest in a field to really excel at it, all showed interest in it when they were a child. And sadly, all I can remember showing interest in is watching cartoons. That doesn't mean I can make cartoons or anything, and I don't think I really want to either. Anyway, I never used to take toys apart to find out how they worked, and to that piece complaining about how they'd been deterred because they were told they weren't gifted and talented, but that didn't matter because they thought they were, and God told them they were. Come on, you can't honestly think that telling yourself you're not an idiot protects you from your own biology. So yeah, it was just a piece I read about how some person was told that they weren't a gifted and talented child, and then they fought against it to eventually come out and prove that they were by becoming some kind of blogger. So there we go. That's my take on it, the big it. Right, bye now.